This is Rating Descending,
where we watch IMDb's Worst 250 so you don't have to.
My name is Abigail Ward.
And I'm Michelle St. Clair.
And tonight we watched Zombie Strippers. A zombie epidemic spreads throughout a strip club in Nebraska. Let's watch.
Yeah. If you had said to me 10 years ago that I'd be alive in 2023, I would have been like, what? Why would you say that?
That's great. We'll be dead by then.
Obviously.
Wait, you're still like 18, right? Because I'm still 18.
No, I'm like 28.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still 18.
Well, that's crazy. Can you tell me your technique? Oh my God, 10 years ago I was 18.
What's the sunscreen?
Oh my God, that's so long ago.
That's horrible.
Oh my God. I'm so glad I'm not 18 anymore. Hey guys, as much as I complain about the passage of time being like terrifying and existential, it also feels so good not being 17 or 18 anymore.
It's amazing.
It
to
feels
be fair,
incredible.
As much as we do talk about how it's insane that we feel older every year, crazy, it's fantastic getting older.
Yeah.
You feel more self-assured. You have yourself figured out a little bit more.
Yeah.
You like yourself a little bit more. You stand up for yourself a little bit more. You're nicer to other people. You're less egotistical. It's less about you. You're just kind of vibing being here with other people. It's great.
Like I'm still existentially terrified of so many things, but I'm specifically more able to manage them and less irritated and scared of them than I was when I was 17 or 18.
I should be afraid of more things. My problem is that nothing terrifies me. I'm just impenetrable, you know? I'm too strong.
Yeah.
Too husky.
Whenever I see Abby, I'm like, damn it, she's so goddamn strong. What are we ever going to do?
I laugh in the face of danger.
Yeah.
If I had one New Year's resolution this year, it's to be a little less brave.
To be a little less brave.
And a little less selfless, you know? Take more time for me.
When I gather the village people, I'm like, what would we ever do without Abigail?
And I stand
She's so
on
strong.
the top of a craggy rock with my cape fluttering behind me, staring off into the sunset. And I let out a little...
Do you say anything? Oh, yeah. And I'm like, that's such a strong fart. Yeah, that's strong. Oh, God, certainly in smell. Oh, my God.
What are your New Year's resolutions?
That's how you want to start the year?
Yeah.
Well,
come in with a bang.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah. No more burps in 2023. It's all farts now.
That's the way I fart, not with a bang, but with a whisper.
I think that's how T.S. Eliot wanted to be quoted. Well, I mean, I've spent the last few, like 2 or so months watching Naruto with my housemate and friend of the podcast, Gaiden. And so my New Year's resolution is to finish Shippuden,
Nice.
The sequel series, which I didn't know finished in only 2019. It finished so much more recently than I thought. I thought everyone finished it so long ago. No, that's like 3 and a bit years ago. That's crazy.
When did Shippuden start?
Like 2007 or something?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was on air for, there's like 500 episodes. You don't have to watch all of them.
Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas.
I will say it's very good. And not in the way with a lot of, like, I am a big fan of, like, Dragon Ball more so than Dragon Ball Z, but it's a show that you're like, well, yeah, obviously this bit is badly written, but it's charming. Whereas, like, Naruto, I'm like, this is, like, opera at its fucking finest.
Nice.
It's genuinely good.
Nice. Right now, me and Claude are watching Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, we just finished season 3, and for all those people that have seen up to season 3 of Better Call Saul, you know what I'm talking about with the season 3 finale. What the fuck?
Oh.
What the fuck?
Did somebody call Saul? Saul?
I'm upset.
Yeah?
That's all I'm saying. I'm upset.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to watch it. I liked the one where the guy broke bad.
Yeah.
And he was in that one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to watch, like,
Well, this was before Bad got broke. So this is when
Right.
Bad is fine.
Bad is still sitting there.
Bad actually comes in as a character, which is great. You get to see like
really
the
good.
origin story.
Mr. Bad, Walter
Yeah.
Bad himself.
Yeah. I love that show.
and Jesse Breaking.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's really, really quite stupid, isn't it?
My one New Year's resolution this year is to be less stupid.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't wait for our viewership to tank.
Yeah, because that's all we got going for us. People listen just for the sheer stupidity they expect. And when I say the sheer stupidity, I mean what I tend to say in response to you saying
Hey,
well thought out statements.
I think if the Artemis Fowl debacle has proved anything, it's that they're not inherently on my side of good takes.
Like, I just know that I'm the himbo of the podcast. People come to this to laugh at me.
I can't tell you how many people have at some point told me, oh, Abby is the, and then we'll insert like one half of a duo from something else that they like. And it's always the one that is either more nuts, more himbo, or more insistent on doing their own thing.
Well, my New Year's resolutions are to be even more nuts and even more himbo and even more insistent on doing my own thing. I'm doubling down this year, baby.
That's great. That's really great for me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited.
Oh, it's just going to get more difficult from here on in.
My resolution is to make sure that we repair our assumedly broken friendship.
Yes.
And I'm
yes.
just preempting it.
Yeah. You're doing damage control every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be exhausting.
Oh man, I'm tired in advance. I'm like already texting my mom like, I'm so sorry for what Abby said.
I'm a menace.
I was going to make a stupid joke about Dennis the Menace. It's nothing. It's just like a reference.
Yeah.
What am I, DreamWorks?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't that much other menace-adjacent pop culture references to touch on.
It doesn't have to be a pop culture reference. I could use my head and make a better joke. You know?
Okay, I'll give you the space.
No, I don't have one.
Oh, no, I'll give you the
That's where
time.
I began.
No, we've got a bit of extra time before we have to get into it. You go for it.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
You said you're a menace?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Speaking of crazy, because now we filled up the time allotment before we get into the
Did I
episode.
bring my fucking A material every week on this? We talk for an hour, all right? Comedians don't have to do an hour every week. They take 1 hour and workshop it.
That's true. We're doing a fresh hour every week.
Yeah.
This is so much more
This is
difficult.
an improvised
Stand-up is easier because stand-up is more planned than this podcast, you know?
You heard it here, the first hot take of 2023.
Stand-up is easier than this podcast, guys. I'm putting my foot in it.
To be fair, they get heckled, and that really sucks. And I did do stand up and have a panic attack, and then I have not done it again.
But also, you've gotten angry emails about Artemis Fowl, so it's kind of the same thing.
No, I mean, look, the emails we got were not bad natured. It was just the volume that really got to me.
Yeah.
You know, I think what I was gonna say though is I don't think the comedians have to deal with actually watching this shit.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's less of a time sap each week for them, and it's less dreary maybe doing stand up.
I cannot tell you. This episode might be one of the biggest disparities between how excited I thought I was going to be going in versus how miserable I was by the end.
We tend to have low expectations, so it's hard to get too disappointed by a lot of these films. However, with this, I think we both had the understanding or the assumption that this film, it was going to be about zombie strippers, but it was going to be maybe more lighthearted and
like
more
silly.
More silly, and maybe like if they were strippers, there'd just be like a bit of stripping, maybe like one scene of it, and you don't really, it's like on the peripheries, it's more about the zombies than the stripping.
Yeah.
But it was really like 80% stripping, you know? It was a lot of stripping.
So, like,
This had more stripping than striptease.
I gotta tell you, easily.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, though, like, the title is apt.
Yeah.
They are zombies and they are strippers.
Looking through a
and
lot
there
of
is really
critic
nothing
reviews.
else going on.
Looking through a lot of critic reviews, I think most people had no complaints about the title.
Yeah. There is no qualms here from the title because there is almost no other content apart from the 5% of the movie dedicated to the very 2008 opinion that George Bush is the worst president that America could possibly have. Something that has dated so depressingly hilariously.
I said this to someone the other day. I think, like, I've come to realize that perhaps I am a man hater. Perhaps I do actually think the worst of men like 90% of the time. Can't believe I married one. But this film really solidifies why. Like, I tend to be skeptical about men in film in particular and the way that men consume and enjoy films. Because I have to say, I went into this with the expectation that it might be a bit lighthearted and silly. But it was actually a lot edgier than I expected, which really I didn't enjoy. And then on top of it, when I did the research, the director's just a shit guy.
Yeah, it really reeks of some like South Park guy who now hates trans people kind of arc.
And all the reviews in IMDb, they're funny, but they're also kind of sad.
Yeah.
Like they make me a bit sad.
Yeah, I get you. I assume there's a lot of like, if there's positive opinions, it's like because of how fucking hot it is.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to change tack in this moment. What I want to know, I have two central mysteries for me, right? One is thematic and one is to do with the lore. Thematic, what I want to know more desperately than anything is how big of an erection am I meant to have at any moment? Because like when they're nude and stripping, but also like there's flesh hanging out and they're killing people, am I meant to be like fully erect or just rocking a chub?
I'm so glad you changed tack here. This is the avenue I was hoping would go down.
Am I meant to be like bricked up for sure?
Well,
or just a little chubbed up?
On the chub spectrum, the chub-o-meter.
Yeah,
you're meant to be sitting at at the start.
Yeah.
First time you see Kat the stripper, solid 8 out of 10 on chub.
For sure, you know.
Sure. But as it goes on and she becomes more evil and demonic, you're probably meant to be riding at a solid 3 to 4 chub. You know, as they start looking more deathly and ghostly and their skin becomes paler and their eyes get blacker and there's a lot more blood and carnage.
Yeah.
I would hope that the chub was meant to be lessened on the chub-o-meter.
Well, I mean, you're the one who did the research this week, so I want to know the director's opinion. Like, when am I meant to come?
You're meant to be you're meant to be edging the whole time.
Yeah,
and you're only allowed to come right as it finishes.
Okay, so like when they tear off the flesh from her like arms and legs and she's just got bones, that's when my bone
that's it
comes.
It's actually the bit where the woman that works for the Z team, like the Z Squad, the people that are killing the zombies, she's just a normal female character, but you're meant to come right at the end as she's fighting a zombie when it pulls off her shirt and now she's also just in a bra. That's when you're meant to come.
Okay.
It's inexplicable why she had to take her shirt off, but
now
that's when you're meant to come.
So like all the tits get more and more zombie until that moment.
And then you get to see a fresh, normal pair of tits and you're like, oh!
Fresh smacking titties.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's when I jizz everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Because
what makes naked women more sexy? Violence.
Yeah.
And blood and gore. That's what I beat off to.
No, I think it's because like, when a woman takes her clothes off, that's pretty hot. So what if she took even more off?
Yeah.
Right? So
she's really stripping down to...
And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, in the final scene, she literally one of the strippers does strip the other stripper completely off of her skeleton.
Yeah.
She just strips the meat and the flesh. This was a gory film, guys.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, 100%.
It's pretty hot.
I came 7 times.
Now, look, it's up to you whether we go into the key details first, but I did also have a very like lore-based question.
Okay, tell me.
Okay. In this world, they establish early on that, this like zombie virus, this government generated, this George Bush sanctioned zombie virus makes men go fully feral, but women seem to mostly keep their consciousness.
Yeah.
Now, I know that they turn into, like zombie cannibals and stuff, but if they retain their full consciousness, are they actually dead? What does death mean if they're still fully conscious?
Yeah, I don't know, because to be honest, the dead beings in this movie were still very sentient and aware that they were dead. It was very meta.
Yeah.
And then the men going feral were obviously still alive, untouched.
That's standard zombie.
But I just feel like, to be honest, no, a standard zombie is someone that cannot talk or participate or like...
The men zombies were standard zombies. Yeah. It's like...
But the women were just like, they were like, I love this. I feel great. I feel better than ever. And it's
they were into it.
Are you? You're not dead then.
Yeah.
Just kind of, just evil now.
Yeah.
And you have a hunger for blood.
You just have a very different appetite. You're diseased. You're sick.
Michelle, you're not going to believe this, but the lore of this universe wasn't particularly well thought out. And I don't think with searching, I'd be able to find
Wait,
all the answers.
Zombie strippers didn't get to the heart of what does death mean?
No, because even though the director clearly had some very thought-provoking satire that he wanted to explore in this film, he didn't have everything figured out. And that's something that we'll touch on in the next half hour or so.
So, you know, they don't have everything figured out.
Yeah,
it's
you're
kind of
not going to believe it, but Mr. Jay Lee, who wrote and directed this film,
Wow.
didn't have the solid bricks and stones laid out to be the needed foundation that this film required.
Oh, so the creatives, they're just like us, huh? They don't have everything figured out either. Hey, come on, I'm just a fucking normal guy. I don't got it figured out neither.
What I didn't like about this film was like the weird
The one
thing was like the little like their references to being like, oh, men are the worst, you know, men always like fuck up when they interfere. Women are pure, but men are evil. And then I'm like, cool, so you just made this product that is just really exacerbated. You've like really targeted all these evil men you're referring to. They're the kind of men that will love this film. So what does that say?
I mean, it just reminds me of what I once referred to as a Jim Jeffries progressive, meaning someone who is so into the idea of being on the right side, but they still have some hardcore problems with women and frequently trans people that they haven't worked through yet.
Yeah, I've only watched a bit of Jim Jeffries. I've maybe watched 10 minutes of his stuff before. After being incredibly bored for 10 minutes, he was just talking about how his girlfriend was a cunt, so I just turned it off.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I don't know what the guy's up to now. Like maybe there's been growth and change. This was something I coined a long time ago. Yeah. You know, but it was very apt for the person I was describing.
Yeah. Well, here's some key details for this horrible, trashy piece of shit film.
This
Great vibes.
This upset me a lot. Like when I finished it, I could feel nothing but completely deflated. But it seems to have really upset you more than I expected.
Oh, it's just filth. And I don't mean that because it's got stripping in it. I just mean that because it was created for a group of like fucking arrogant men as per.
Yeah.
All right. This film was written and directed by Jay Lee. He didn't have a Wikipedia page because he didn't do anything after this.
Well, that's because the fucking student film ass piece of shit had some of the worst filmmaking on this list.
I looked into Jay Lee a little bit and I found some interviews with him, and fuck me dead, this guy spouts gibberish. I think what infuriated me most about this film, again, it wasn't the fact that there was stripping in it. It wasn't even just the fact that it was a group of men working on this film that had objectified a group of women and tried to claim it was satire. It's more that he kept ranting about the political messaging behind it that was just so not there. Anyway, this film had Robert Englund as Ian Esco in it. Robert Englund played Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
Jenna Jameson played Kat. She is like the porn queen. She has worked in the porn industry for a really long time. I think she retired a while ago when she started having kids.
That explains the acting skills.
Hey, I think she actually got really fucking into it.
Which one was Kat?
She was the blonde that got bitten first.
The OG, like the first one. Yeah.
The mama stripper.
The one who kind of becomes the main villain, I guess?
She does. But I thought she wasn't a great actress, but fuck, when she was like a zombie, she just seemed to really enjoy it.
She was going for it.
They were all pretty going for it, you know? There was Roxy Saint as Lilith, who was the goth stripper.
Yeah. Okay.
There was Penny Drake as Socks, the redheaded one.
And then there were like 3 brown-haired ones that I kept thinking kind of looked the same. I kept thinking they were the same person, and then there was 2 of them, and then there was actually 3 of them.
Yeah. And then there was Jennifer Holland playing Jessie, a young Christian girl that has joined them. She was actually kind of good. I thought she was quite funny in some scenes.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought the whole bit was going to be like, it's the obvious final girl.
Yeah.
But that's not.
No.
It's not. She's not really the protagonist. She's not that. It's nothing.
You had too much faith in this movie, clearly.
Right. I thought if they had a trope that they would actually fulfill it.
Yeah. Here's the overview. In a dystopic near future in which Bush has been elected to a 4th term, so we're talking 2016, I guess.
Which, again, is really funny in 2023 now, because he's not the president who incited a insurrection.
Yeah.
A resurrection. Yeah. He did incite a resurrection in this.
There is a zombie outbreak. An infected Marine ends up in an underground strip club named Rhino. Rhino is run by Ian Esco. Their star dancer, Kat, is attacked by the Marine. Esco, concerned about losing his best dancer, lets her go back on stage as a zombie. To everyone's surprise, Kat is a better and more popular dancer as a zombie than she was as human. One by one, the human strippers become zombies. During private dances, the strippers bite and kill their customers. The remaining humans in the club struggle to survive until the Z Squad burst in to destroy the zombies. They discover that the zombie epidemic was created by the Bush administration in the hopes that it would distract Americans from their mishandling of the war. The end. It's fucking garbage. It's just garbage.
Pretty clever. Pretty clever insight.
So this is just now I get it.
Yeah.
The ends justified the means because it was really just a statement on how the American government always try to distract you from what they're doing.
You see, the way that the political messaging that the Bush government was inept, which, again, in 2008, not a hot take. This would have been released during or at the beginning of the great financial crisis. Not a hot take. The way to message that is to spend about 75 minutes having strippers eventually turn into zombies.
Yeah.
I get it. Because you see, the strippers are the American people, right?
Yeah.
And they're stripping their freedoms bare.
And no, the men are the American people because they're just bending over, watching, they're just getting rammed in the ass. Watching their country explode.
That bit.
Oh, that was just in a deleted scene.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's when I came.
Yeah, that's when you...
There's I think from what I remember reading,
Chekhov's
the
dick.
director's I just really want to explore the fact that we'll often be shown we're so blind and oblivious to so many things that happen around us. There's always these distracting tactics that we can't recognize what's really happening. I was like, go fucking touch some grass, dude. Maybe close the laptop for a while.
Everyone in this movie directly comments on what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like proto...
He's like, do you get it? Because they're like zombies, but they're so taken by the fact that they're nasty, cool strippers now, they're not even noticing that they're zombies. And it's a statement about America.
Wow, it's a statement the whole time?
How come my film didn't do better?
I don't know, man. I mean, wait. So you had the zombies, you had the strippers. Did they bite off like a dick and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Were the dudes
the dick
super into it?
Is the government.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And
that
the
goes
mouth,
without saying.
That's just a stripper's mouth.
That's just a stripper, yeah.
I got confused in that bit.
No, I mean, that makes sense. The government in a stripper's mouth, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, wait, did you
And
begin...
the government's just coming all over.
It's just coming everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. You ever feel like the government's just fucking coming all over you?
I don't know, maybe
That's what I wanted to explore. The fact that I keep getting cum on me all the fucking time.
Maybe it's too subtle. Did you begin with 3 minutes of a fake news reel talking about how Bush is awful?
Absolutely I did.
Huh.
I
how did I
ticked
miss
all
it
the
then?
boxes. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
that,
perfect.
'cause can I tell you something?
Yeah,
This film was on $1 million budget.
that makes sense to me.
How much do you think it made?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
I mean, given the content, I assume it must be R-rated, which is very hard to get people to go see.
Mm-hmm.
It is...
it's not a family-friendly film.
No. It is called Zombie Strippers, which could bring a crowd, but it's also maybe one of the most poorly made things we've seen so far on this list. And I would say if we hadn't watched Food Fight so recently. But Food Fight, I think...
no one vomited watching this film. I mean, you didn't feel very well eating your lunch while you watched
I
it.
came pretty close at one point. I should not have decided to eat my lunch as I was watching this movie.
Well, you watched a stripper chow off some guy's dick and chew on it.
It's too relatable. New bottom surgery just dropped. Wait, how much did it make?
We're talking 4 figures.
4 figures? No!
How come my film didn't do better?
Is he still on the internet? Because I would evaporate immediately. If I spent $1 million and made 4 figures, I would be like, I'm out. I'm gone. No more of this.
I just love the audacity he has talking about how it's actually a really well thought out satire about current American politics when he made 4 figures from his $1 million budget film.
How much? I need the precise numbers.
Oh, I'm giving you the precise numbers. The precise number was $8,259.
Okay, so you know what makes that so funny though? Because that's $8,000 on a $1 million budget. That's a better margin than Area 51, which
Yeah.
made less.
Yeah. Is it a better it's not a better margin. It is a better margin than Food Fight?
It's not.
No, it's not.
I don't know if it's a better margin than Food Fight. We'd have to do the math of like percentage-wise.
Yeah.
Because I can't work that out in the moment. I mean, 1 to 8,000 versus like 65 million to 70,000. That's worse.
We can do the math
Times.
right now. Hang on.
Yeah, I think this is a better margin.
This made a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Percentage-wise.
Percentage-wise, don't have the percent, but it's a bit better.
Jay Lee, you're doing better. You're doing better than Mr. Food Fight.
No, look, if you're talking directly to Jay Lee, may I?
Yeah, sure.
Jay Lee,
I'll be Jay Lee. I'll be Jay Lee.
Cool. Oh, Mr. Lee.
Hey, I'm
Just a
Jay
moment
Lee.
of your time, please.
For sure.
My eyes are up here, please. Stop. Stop
Sorry, you
wiggling.
just got such big bazonkas. I couldn't help myself.
I just wanted to say one thing to you. I watched your film, Zombie Strippers.
Sorry, what did you say? I was distracted again by the bazongas.
Please,
they made me
eyes
think
up
of
here.
the Bush administration.
All I wanted to say was that I want you to suck my taint. I want you
Okay.
to get on your knees. And I want you to suck my gooch.
I'd love that. That sounds excellent. This is exactly what a dirtbag like me would love.
I'm into it. No, I bet he wouldn't. I bet he's incredibly grossed out by anything gay.
Would it be gay if he's a man and you're a woman?
And he's sucking my taint? I don't have a taint to suck.
Well, I mean, you still have the
I'm
perineum.
imagining I have a full cock and balls in this situation.
But that doesn't necessitate that it would be gay because you're still a woman.
That's true.
You just would
I think
have
I'm
a
imagining
dick and
myself
balls.
as a dude.
Oh, okay.
Like
So
a full guy.
Now that's different.
That's pretty gay.
That is much gayer. If he
Michelle, you don't understand my fantasy. Yes, I have the cock and balls, but also I have the heart and spirit of a man in this situation.
Yeah, that is to your defense.
That's
much
gay.
gayer. If they're both men, yeah, I
have the mind, heart, and spirit of a man, and the cock and balls to prove it.
I think this exchange, we should revoke our status as like an LGBT friendly podcast.
No, you're trans. It's fine. We can say whatever we want.
You're also gay.
What? That was therapeutic for me.
That's good. That's really great.
Yeah.
What was getting me about this movie? God, I'm trying to remember any details because it really is just like a big mixed mush.
We've talked about this. Sometimes these films are so traumatic, you just want to erase it from your memory as soon as you can.
Yeah, because you know what? It started like it had the opening news bit, and I was kind of laughing out loud, not at the intentional jokes, but at the like, this is insane and poorly made, and also like it's again. Really funny in a very depressing way, the sentiment that Bush is the worst American president that there ever could be, because it just took so little time to change that. And then there's the whole sequence in like the army military base where there's the two things dawned on me. One, I was like, okay, this is still crazy, but the other thing of like, this is a lot more poorly made than I thought it was gonna be. What is this gonna be like? And then as soon as they hit the strip club, the pacing grinds to a halt.
Yeah. And then it's just like an hour of stripping while people are eating each other.
This movie is proof of how long 90 minutes is.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Because I was like, 90 minutes, walk in the park. And I remember I stopped at one point being like, surely I'm at the end. And I was like, I'm 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
I'm a third of the way through this film. And I swear I finished it 2 hours ago.
When I grabbed my food, I was like 20 minutes in. And I had to make a promise to myself. I can't stop it again or I won't finish it.
Yeah.
And I did keep checking the time and I kept going like 40 minutes left, 30 minutes left. Oh my, what is even still going on?
It really did. As soon as they get to the strip club, it is just like the slow introduction of all the girls, all of their very slow strip dances. And then one by one, they start eating each other. It's just...
Which could be, if it was like a bottle movie, kind of interesting, but it's not because they're still fully conscious, right? So it's not like, oh, there's a zombie in the thing and then their boss is like a sleazebag who wants them to keep stripping, even though like both the girls and the crowd are slowly getting got.
Yeah.
You know? What it is that because she's fully conscious, she goes out and like everyone is like mega horny.
Yeah.
And then all the girls are like, I mean, gosh, you seem to be doing a pretty good job. I don't know, maybe I should be a zombie.
Yeah.
And then she's like, fuck yeah, my guy,
And that's just
join
the
me.
plot.
I feel really great. And then that, sort of happens almost like 12 angry men trying to like convince them one by one to become zombie.
Yeah.
Except there's the one who spouts a lot of like American individualism shit. of like, hey, no, you don't conform. You have to just be you, be an individual. Freedom of thought. And I'm like,
she the brunette?
Yeah. Who then, I guess, she does turn into a zombie, but only so that she can match, what's her name, the main zombie.
Yeah.
Because when they're zombies, they're not now like slow and shambling. They're now like
more aggressive.
Really strong.
Yeah, really strong. And they start competing once they're zombies, being like, I'm a better stripper than you.
Yeah.
And then they have this fight at the end of the film where Kat puts a bunch of ping pong balls up her pussy and then shoots them out at her. Yeah. And then when that fails, she puts a bunch of billiard balls up her pussy and shoots them out at her as well.
You know what? That was almost wild enough that I could get on board. Not because it was good, but like because when there was the bit of she's starting to shoot billiard balls, like pool balls out of her vagina at the other one, who then she like catches it and then like throws it back into her vagina.
That's
and then she like flings across the room. I'm like, more of that.
Yeah. There were some really gory moments in this, as you know. Eating the dick off and chewing it bit was a lot.
It rips the guy's head in half.
That one was, she's like, I like your tongue. And then she just splits his head open. And then there's one where she's eating this guy from the ear and she kind of nibbles around the top of his head to just pull the skull entirely off.
Yeah. This is really a lot.
There's a lot visually.
Like way too much.
Yeah.
Like way too much. If you're going to make like a satire on American Empire about zombie strippers, you don't need quite so much heads ripped in half.
Yeah.
You can get away with a lot less.
And in the end, they're just kind of shooting everyone's heads off with shotguns.
Yeah.
It's a more traditional zombie killing.
Yeah, a more standard exploding head sort of thing, you know. Well, the Z team shows up and just starts shooting. There was the weird bit where, was it Pablo, the Mexican character he looks
at a photo of his family.
Yeah, it's very clearly like it's really fun to, make fun of races kind of humor, where he does everything Mexican possible and everything he's saying in Spanish is just words that we as English speakers know, where he's like, quinceañera, nachos, and it's oh, the funny thing is that they have a different language. That's pretty funny. Yeah. And then he goes out.
But it's satire. Don't you get it?
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's tongue in cheek.
You see, because Bush is the baddie.
Yes.
That means my own racism doesn't matter.
Yes, exactly.
Don't you get it, Abigail?
Oh, you don't get it?
Yeah.
No, he knows that it's racist, but that's why it's funny.
Yeah, because he's a good guy.
It's tongue in cheek.
That's why
he knows
it's edgy.
He's just trying to provoke you.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you get insulted or offended, he's done his job right. Okay? That's what he said in one of his interviews. He was like, if I offend people, I've done the right thing. And I'm like, no.
Boo-hoo.
No. This guy's clearly never been laid. He just hasn't had enough tits and pussy.
This does have some serious virgin energy in this whole movie.
I saw a photo of him and he's just such a weedy looking guy.
Yeah.
I just hate this guy. I just hate him. No, him in particular, it's not okay. He's an awful person, so we're allowed to make fun of how he looks.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Because then it's the same thing as what he was doing of like, that guy's racist, so I can be racist. No.
No. Yes. This guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's arrogant.
Yeah, but he's not a piece of shit because he's weedy.
Yeah, maybe he is though. Maybe he's with men.
What?
With men, no. Sometimes it is.
No, what? What are you saying? This is gibberish.
Sometimes.
This is not a coherent philosophy.
Sometimes small weedy men act out and they're horrible.
That's different than he's evil because he's weedy.
I think it's both. I think it feeds into each other. He's weedy and he's horrible, and then they just manifest. He gets weedier as he gets more horrible, and vice versa.
We gotta. Hey, oh my god!
I'm just gonna tell you, Michelle. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I should rein it in for Jay Lee. He can suck my taint. We've talked about this.
No, I'm saying. Go in hard.
Yeah, I am.
I'm just not gonna join you in the like. Look at his stupid fucking face. Man, he doesn't have much muscle mass. What an idiot! Because I'm like, nah, that's playing their game. I'm not part of it. What he looks like, I don't give a fuck. He sucks.
He does suck.
Yeah.
But also when people suck, and then there's just something like weedy about them. It's hard to not wonder.
So there's minimum another year of this podcast, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this year 4?
It's a pathetic little man. I hate him.
Yeah, that's. I haven't heard you go this hard for a director. I think since we did Human Centipede.
Yes, Human Centipede. I reminisced.
But that
on
was
Human Centipede.
You reminisced.
Today. Yeah,
I try and forget every day.
No, I reminisced on how much I hated that director because of how much I hate this director.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
no holding back.
You know, when they're particularly sexist, it's pretty hard to move past. It's hard to move past when they're any bad. That's not. I feel like I've accidentally walked into a Britta Perry. I can excuse racism, but
the reason I'm criticizing the way he looks, by the way, is because he's made a film full of pornographic naked women that are like just absolutely stunning people, and I know that this is the kind of man that just enjoys and expects this level of beauty from women.
Yeah.
And he himself has nothing to offer. The reason I get annoyed about it is that men love to exploit the beauty and looks and aesthetic of women, and then they have nothing to bring to the table because they're weedy little men. I get annoyed that women are held to a standard that men never hold themselves to either. That's why I get upset about it, Michelle.
Now, I agree with you. But have you considered women are pretty? Women are pretty. You know, men could be pretty if they actually took care of themselves a bit more. Some of them are very pretty.
If men wore makeup and like feminine clothes, you'd be like, oh, you're pretty, because those things are pretty.
And then some of them are like, you're a handsome man. You're a handsome little man.
I'm sorry that I looked at Jay Lee
man.
in his sweater vest and his little fucking trilby and didn't think you're pretty.
Trilby? Oh, I'm totally on your side.
Yeah,
Fuck
he's
that
a fucking gross guy, Michelle.
Disgusting. West hat.
I'm not going back on what I said. I stand by it. I'm allowed to critique this man because he's a fucking piece of shit. Suck my taint. Do you want to hear some trivia?
Yeah, I do. IMDb trivia. But again, to specify, suck your taint in a gay way.
Yeah,
because you're a man.
Because mind, body, and spirit, I'm a man.
Well, there's nothing left. That's all of you.
So here's some trivia.
Okay.
This film was shot in only 18 days.
What?
I don't know how
there's
it's possible.
Like 2 rooms and nothing happens. There's like 40 wide shots that make up the entire movie. Hey, Jay Lee, learn what the fuck a close-up is.
Yeah.
Not every shot needs to be a wide.
The actresses choreographed their own striptease routines, which makes sense. I mean, who else would? If you've done it, it's like, cool, I'll do it.
Now, if Jay Lee had choreographed them and taught them how to do it, I would have respected him a little more.
Yeah. This is the grossest piece of trivia I've ever read. Some dude clearly enjoyed this film and thought about it a lot. I don't even know if I want to say it. Although much care was taken to keep the women's lady bits hidden from view, you can momentarily make out Shamron Moore's pudendal cleft. And then they put in the exact minute and second it occurs.
Just Google vagina. You can if you just want to see them, you can Google vagina.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to pay for the porn and sex work that you consume, you know, to support the women that you're using. But like, if you want to see a vagina so badly, you can just Google it. You don't need to do this. This is so weird. Here's
another fantastic line from Jay Lee. When asked if he thought nudity was important to have in horror films, director Jay Lee said, "I don't actually think it's that essential. A large percentage of the audience definitely needs it or looks for it. And when I was researching horror movies and had 2 DVDs in my hand and one had nudity, I would probably rent the one that had nudity."
What?
That was his quote about it.
What? 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 I don't even understand the premise of the question. Wait, why did someone go, is nudity required in horror? Obviously not. There's tons of horror movies without nudity in it. Yeah. What the fuck are they talking about?
Then I love how he's like, look, if I had nudity as an option, I'd clearly go for the one with nudity.
What the fuck?
You wouldn't go for the better film? You just go for the one that's got tits and ass in it?
Just Google it. Just Google vagina and titty like a fucking 12-year-old.
Jay Lee also said he'd love to direct Jessica Alba or Jessica Biel as zombie strippers.
Yeah,
which is the creepiest offer.
I bet you fucking would.
Yeah, I bet you'd love to see them strip off for your fucking movie, you piece of shit. This is what I mean. He's a fucking weird guy.
You know what? like, I was on your side from the get-go because I watched this movie and this guy's definitely a creep, but like every detail you give me about this man, I'm like, I get why you're so angry.
Yeah, because I did the research.
Yeah.
I read the articles of him rambling on about his political satire and his incessant need to see a titty.
I need to shower after this episode.
I need to calm down.
I feel disgusted.
I need a long sleep.
Yeah.
A Xanax.
Baby need a nap.
Baby need a nap.
Baby need a nap.
And here's my last piece of trivia. This was, as we know, number 13 on the list 15 garbage movies with a ton of skin,
Yeah,
as we have
right.
addressed in the past.
That's right.
Do you want to hear some review?
Yeah.
Reviews!
On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 39%. The site's consensus states, though intentionally campy, Zombie Strippers suffers from poor execution and never rises above its silly premise. Richard Roper of Iber,
Richard Roper watched
Yeah.
Zombie Strippers?
My
My
and
guy,
Roper,
how you have fallen.
he said, it looks terrible, it doesn't work as camp, it doesn't work as low-budget crap. Dennis Harvey of Variety also called it a one-joke pick. Stephen Hunter of Washington Post said, I stayed to the bitter end out of some romantic sense of professional obligation. Don't make that same mistake.
Me too, man. Same.
We're in the same boat as you.
Same boat.
Stephen Hunter.
If I had any choice, I wouldn't have finished it.
You ready to hear some of the worst IMDb reviews of your life?
Okay, but I got to remind you, this not always. We've had long discussions about it. This podcast is about the funnies and the ha-has. So I'm gonna try and bring it up while this review, it sounds like, is gonna bring us down.
Oh, absolutely. You will lose all faith that you had in humanity. This is a 10 out of 10 review. It's called It's Got It All, Winky Face, from ZomComGod. For fans of comedy, zombies, death metal, and naked chicks, it has got it all. Guns, gore, boobs, and actual LOL moments from start to finish. Best film I have ever seen. Definitely the best to date. Although it is a case of love it or hate it, oh well, it's great, and even slightly better with booze. Do not even slightly consider letting your kids watch this film. And do not let your wives, girlfriends, whores, or other female friends join you in this film, because they will probably be offended by the sexual content. And it is enlightening to see just how sexy dead
not
girls
wrong.
can really be.
What the fuck?
There was some continuity errors, which I noticed, but this doesn't really matter in the scheme of things.
What?
10 out of 10. This highlighted just how sexy dead girls can be.
That was me trying to bring back the funnies.
Oh, you did so well.
Because I got really upset by the end of that.
Oh, me too.
Oh, round two.
Look, I'll skip the second one. Let's go to the third one. You know what?
Did you reread the second one and it made you that upset?
I don't want to make your job harder, you know? I'm trying to help you.
My job right now to listen to
Yeah.
it.
Look, I'm skipping over that one.
I trust you because you're way more willing to go there than I am consistently, and you're skipping it.
Yeah. Subtly brilliant comedy disguised as an over-the-top B-movie. That's the subject left by the original Elf grin. 10 out of 10 review. First, I must say that you should not watch this movie expecting a AAA title. It is designed as a B-movie, and it plays that role perfectly. No surprises. The surprise that comes with this movie, no surprises, but the surprise that does come with this movie is that it's filled to the brim with the one thing you wouldn't expect in a movie titled Zombie Strippers: intelligent comedy. From intentional continuity and plot holes that take a stab at the trash spun out of Hollywood to the contrast of the low-grade movie style with the use of Nietzsche's works in a joking manner that never seems to take itself seriously like the rest of this movie.
Because it's philosophy 101.
To the plain, blunt comedy and absurdity of every second of this movie from start to finish, this movie has managed to take the single worst plot concept ever published and create one of the most intelligently witty and enjoyable movies ever made. The smarter, more sophisticated audience I show this movie to, the more they appreciate it. Anyone who tells you this movie is anything along the lines of low-class, stupid, etc., simply lacks the ability or willingness to appreciate it. This movie has become one of my all-time favorite movies. I would suggest it to anybody, just remember that this movie never takes itself seriously and everything in it is intentional. This film is flawless. 10 out of 10.
This guy's got to be doing a bit. If he's doing a bit, it's a good bit. If he's not doing a bit, you
Terrible.
wrote something funnier than anything in the movie.
Terrible.
Get out of my trash can.
You're doing well. I'm having a giggle.
Yeah.
In this
You're having
moment
some
in time,
chuckles.
I have some chuckles.
Hey, it's me. Oh, I need help. I've fallen. Give me your hand.
Here you
Give
go.
me your hand. Whoop. Got your hand. I loved it. I'm Tom Hanks.
What?
See you later. I
just
gotta go
absconded.
make Toy Story 5. Thanks for the hand.
Well, that was Tom Hanks's review of
like a
Zombie
smoke
Strippers.
and left there, like Looney Tunes has run away.
That was Tom Hanks's review of Zombie Strippers. What was yours, Michelle?
I give it a 9 out of 10. My review? Boy, wow, it's interesting. I really got a reminder, I feel like I've had to stop saying it as much because I've been so challenged in my ethos. 2 used to be specifically the floor of is a movie, right? Like if it was generally a movie, it had to be at least a 2 so that there was room for things like this.
Yeah.
Because this is so thoroughly not a movie, right? It doesn't resemble a movie. I have seen, obviously I've seen student films better than it because some students are incredibly talented. But I don't just mean in that sense. This is worse than a student film.
Yeah.
This is awful and boring. This is like student at the very beginning of a course, right? The bare essentials are not adhered to. This is an unmovie. The only reason this isn't in the bottom 50 is because of all the tibbies and punani in it.
The little tibblies.
It's a 0.2. It's nothing. It's really one of the worst artistic works I've ever seen. And I've watched Food Fight.
Yeah. I'm giving it 0.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I don't want to talk about this film ever again. Jay Lee, I'll fucking meet you in hell, motherfucker, and you'll be sucking my taint every day. I challenge you to a fucking duel. If I had a glove in my hand, I'd slap you right now. You're fucking dead to me. I hope you never get to make another film, and I'm almost entirely certain you won't. Go live out your fucking miserable life. Fuck you.
To steal a quote from George Miller, if you held a gun to my head and asked me to watch this movie again, I'd say pull the trigger.
Well, wow, that was Zombie Strippers. What an experience. Guys, do you want to find us on social media? Try us. We're on Twitter under Rate Descend Pod. We're on TikTok under Rating Descending, or you can email us at ratingdescending@gmail.com.
Or if you listen to it and you're like, that's pretty funny, I don't need this framework to enjoy their lives, what's going on? Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Michelle.St.
And you can find me on Instagram under Abigail J. Ward.
And if you are so filled with guffaws at us being really angry and upset this whole episode,
Yes.
then please leave a review for us wherever you get your podcasts.
It really makes a difference.
It does. You too can make a difference.
Oh, Michelle, that was Zombie Strippers. What in the fucking hell are we watching next week? No, motherfucker.
Look. I appreciate everyone who's been through with us this like holiday season. We've had maybe the worst year end to year beginning I could think of.
Hey, oh, no, we started 2021 with Sex in the City too. So let's not jump the gun.
But next week, we are watching The Last Airbender.
Yes! I've always wanted to watch it.
You've never seen it?
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh.
Because I know it's shit.
I mean, I've obviously seen it because I'm a fucking maniac. I've seen it like 3 times. I'm so excited. We gotta watch this one together. Yeah. It's so great. We're both big fans of the show. So I am excited.
Oh, well, smell you later.